In the ancient Yoruba kingdom of Okeagba, a powerful and wealthy king, Oba Adewale, ruled over his people with wisdom and justice. He was a fair and compassionate ruler, loved by his people, and his kingdom prospered under his leadership. But despite his many accomplishments, Oba Adewale was troubled by a single desire to have a male child to inherit his throne. According to the custom of the land, the king must produce a male heir within 10 years of his coronation or risk losing his crown. Oba Adewale's anxiety grew with each passing day as his wives failed to deliver the desired male child. He began to doubt his own fertility and wondered if he was cursed. The king's three wives, Olori Odunola, Olori Iyabo, and Olori Arike, had only borne him daughters, and Oba Adewale's desperation grew with each passing day. He called upon his royal advisors to find a solution to his problem. One day, the king's advisor introduced him to a young woman named Olori Adebisi, who was rumored to have the power to bear male children. Oba Adewale was immediately taken with Olori Adebisi's beauty and grace, and he knew he had to make her his fourth wife. Olori Adebisi was taken aback by the king's proposal, but she knew she couldn't refuse. She accepted his offer, and Oba Adewale was overjoyed. He ordered his royal guards to prepare the palace for Olori Adebisi's arrival, and he summoned his advisors to begin the preparation for the wedding. The king's other wives were not pleased with the new addition to the palace, and they grew jealous and resentful of Olori Adebisi's presence. They began to plot against her, whispering lies and half-truths in the king's ear, trying to turn him against her. But Oba Adewale was smitten with Olori Adebisi, and he refused to listen to his other wives' schemes. He spent all his time with Olori Adebisi, getting to know her and her ways, and he was convinced that she was the one who could bear him a male child. As Olori Adebisi settled into her new life in the palace, the king's other wives became more and more cruel. They taunted her and teased her, saying she was nothing but a mere commoner, unworthy of the king's attention. But Olori Adebisi refused to be intimidated. She stood tall and proud, and she faced the king's other wives with courage and dignity. She knew that she had the power to bear the king a male child, and she was determined to prove it. Years passed, and Olori Adebisi failed to produce a male heir. Oba Adewale's anxiety grew as he knew that he had to produce a male heir within 10 years of his coronation or risk losing his throne. The king's other wives continued to plot against Olori Adebisi, trying to find ways to discredit her and turn the king against her. They spread rumors and lies about her, trying to make her seem unworthy of the king's trust. But Olori Adebisi was not alone. She had the support of the king's advisor, who knew that she was a good and worthy queen. They stood by her side, and they helped her to navigate the treacherous water of palace politics. As the years went by, Olori Adebisi's determination only grew stronger. She knew that she had to produce a male heir or risk losing everything she had worked for. And then, in the 10th year of Oba Adewale's reign, Olori Adebisi became pregnant once more. The king was overjoyed and he prayed to the gods that this child would be the male heir he so desperately needed. Olori Adebisi's pregnancy progressed and Oba Adewale's excitement grew. He could hardly wait for the day when his son would be born and he would finally have an heir to inherit his throne. One fateful night, Olori Adebisi went into labor and the palace was thrown into chaos. The king's other wives tried to intervene, but Olori Adebisi was determined to give birth to her child no matter what. And so, with a mighty cry, Olori Adebisi pushed out a beautiful baby boy, and the palace erupted in joy. Oba Adewale was overjoyed, and he named his son Prince Adeolu after his own father. The king's other wives were forced to swallow their pride and congratulate Olori Adebisi on her good fortune. They tried to hide their jealousy and resentment, but it was clear to all that they were not pleased with the new addition to the palace. But Olori Adebisi was not concerned. She knew that she had done what was best for the kingdom, and she was proud of her accomplishment. She held her son close, and she knew that she would do anything to protect him. As Prince Adeolu grew and prospered, Oba Adewale's kingdom prospered with him. The king's people loved him all the more for his wisdom and justice, and they celebrated the birth of his son with feasts and festivals. And so, the story of Olori Adebisi and Prince Adeolu was passed down from generation to generation, a reminder of the power of courage and determination in the face of adversity. Oba Adewale's kingdom continued to prosper under his rule, and his people loved him all the more for his wisdom and justice. He ruled with a fair and compassionate hand, and his kingdom was a beacon of hope and prosperity in a troubled world. Olori Adebisi continued to be a beloved and respected member of the palace, and she was always remembered as the queen who had brought a male heir to the throne. She lived out her days in peace and happiness, surrounded by her loved ones and the respect of her people. And so, the kingdom of Okeagba lived happily ever after. Thanks to the bravery and determination of Olori Adebisi, her legacy lived on, a reminder to all of the power of courage and determination in the face of adversity. And so, the kingdom of Okeagba lived happily ever after, thanks to the bravery and determination of Olori Adebisi. Her legacy lived on, a reminder to all of the power of courage and determination in the face of adversity.